Hello, this is Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent consultant with the Nikken Corporation. And this is a video, a 30-minute video about why we believe Nikken is a better way. It's not a corporate presentation, it's by us independent consultants. But we love Nikken, and we found that it is a better way to health and wealth and freedom. So I'm going to share some PowerPoint slides briefly, and then talk about with some other consultants the experiences we've had with Nikken as a better way of life, truly. So here we go. So it's a better way to a life in balance with people, planet, and profit is the way we think of ourselves. And the core of Nikken's philosophy is the little things that add up every day. Small choices consistently over time make a radical difference. And it affects everything, our relationships, our health, mental and physical, our success at work, our income, our happiness and success. And it really makes a difference between what we call a human being more, which is the motto of the company, building people through their plan, and humans not achieving their potential. And it's not about giant decisions like I'm going to lose weight next month, or I'm going to join a fitness club, or I'm going to start yoga. It's about little things that you do every day that make a difference. And we're going to talk about this a couple times because it affects everything, how you handle your lifestyle and your time and your health. And Nikken has asks you to be healthy by choice, not by chance. And the Nikken Choice is about active wellness and collaborative entrepreneurship. And when I discovered Nikken over 20 years ago, actually 21, I was looking for a way to continue to teach natural health. I'd been teaching nutrition and family communication for over 20 years already, and I was looking for a way to reach more people with this message and have more freedom of time and money, because I was charging by the hour to consult, and you can only charge so much and you only have so many hours in a week. So I was looking for a way to make more money, and I knew network marketing was a great vehicle to get rid of all the glass ceilings and the income limits. But there were so many companies that were just Me Too nutritionals, and they had maybe one good aspect or another, but I'd be competing with my local health food store, and I didn't want to do that. And so I was looking for something really unique. And that's when Nikken came into my life. A naturopathic physician told me about it. And I was like, wow, that's completely new. The technologies are patented and they make a huge difference, and people notice them right away. They don't have to change their diet or start supplements and wait 2 months to see a change. This people could see within minutes. So it was so exciting. And I totally adopted it because I knew from my studies of natural health that we were being affected by all electricity around us. And we bought an old farmhouse in upstate New York, and we're updating the wiring, and we minimized the wiring to minimize the effects of electronics on us. And this is before computers and cell phones and all those other alien waves that are affecting us today. And we also kept the dirt basement so that we'd be getting the natural energy up from the earth. And people who visited us said, gee, why don't we get tired here? You put us to work and in the organic garden and so on, and we just don't get tired. And I said, well, we're living close to nature here. So when I heard about Nikken and the products, you didn't have to buy an old broken down farmhouse to live in the natural magnetic field in your home, I was totally excited. And Nikken had a wonderful philosophy, I discovered too. They had this 5 pillars of health: the mind, body, family, society, and finances all need to be in balance to get true happiness and freedom in your life. And I loved that because I had given up law practice to have more time with my family and better health, not being stuck 18 stores up for 10 hours a day, and doing something more meaningful for society. But I thought I'd given up the big finances. And Nikken, having this philosophy that everybody deserves to have abundance in all 5 pillars, was such an amazing philosophy, especially because I was a corporate attorney and I knew that most corporations didn't give a hoot about what you did outside, whether your health was good or your family relationships were good or whether you were actually doing something meaningful for society. So the 5 pillars was just an amazing thing to discover. So what is the problem that Nikken's designed to solve? It's our stress from our modern life. It's chronic stress. It's not the kind of stress we were designed for, where we can fight or run. This is just chronic stress from health problems, worries about family, job, income, getting fired, not going anywhere in the job. Chronic stress is a killer and it affects everything. And so that is where Nikken comes in, because Nikken brings us back to nature, reconnects us with nature that helps our body rid ourselves of accumulated stress. And when I was doing the family counseling after I left law, working with parents to make a better family life, I saw that finances were the biggest stress point. That's why I couldn't charge a whole lot more for the counseling. And Robert Kiyosaki has described it so simply that there are 4 quadrants of how we earn our living. On the left side, if you're looking at the picture, is the where we're selling our time for money and we don't have any leverage. All we have is our time. If we don't show up, we don't get paid. And either an employee or even self-employed are still under that limitation of how many hours are in the day and how much can you get per hour. And yet 95% of our population rely on this method, and they control 5% of the wealth. So it's not the way to really get financial freedom. So we look for ways to move from the left side to the right side of these 4 quadrants. On the right side, there are 2 ways to build wealth, because you can leverage. One is to be a business owner, where you're leveraging the time and efforts of others, your employees. And of course, the franchises like McDonald's are the best representation of that, because they have a system. And so you buy the business, you have a system, you hire people, you leverage their efforts and benefit from them financially. But it takes $1 million or 2 to start a major franchise like McDonald's. And even then, it takes a couple of years to start earning, and you may need 2 or 3 of those franchises to actually build wealth. The 4th way is as an investor, where Warren Buffett is considered the best investor in our country still. And he leverages his money. He has enough money that he can put it where it's going to grow, and it works for him. But the problem with investors is, guess what? You got to have a lot of money to start with. So there's only 5% of the population that are business owners and investors, but they actually control 95% of the wealth. So how do we get over there if we're not born with millions or have a few million set aside to buy that franchise? Well, the new trend is the gig economy, and it's getting a lot of attention because people are choosing to be independent workers with on-demand availability for temporary or part-time engagements. And particularly the millennial generation is embracing this because they see that their parents lost half their retirement income when they with the last recession, and their grandparents, their corporations aren't taking very good care of them, and most corporations don't keep old people around 40 years anymore, and certainly don't give them a big hefty pension. So millennials are looking for part-time and temporary engagements, and the big changes are that like Uber, these and Airbnb and Amazon, they're coming up and allowing people to earn part-time income and really change their income picture. Uber's increased by a factor of 1 million in 5 years, and Amazon, of course, is the way people are shopping today, and it's increased by a factor of 5 in 5 years. So these show that the impact of the gig economy and the internet is just beginning, and it gives, it's more cost efficient, it allows more work-life balance and more mobility, and young and old are adopting this gig economy. Now, Nikken is also, as far as earning, it's a collaborative entrepreneurship. You're not all alone. When you start a business, most times you have your business plan and then it's all up to you. But in Nikken, we have leadership training. We have an amazing team of people who want you to succeed because of the way network distribution works. Everybody benefits from your success. And that's not true in the corporate world. It's not true in the law firms either. So it's easy to integrate into your life because you can do it from your desk right here in your house. And a low cost of entry to join Nikken. It's just $100 to get into their system, and then a couple of thousand to get your products and share them with others. So it's a turnkey system. The system's already been developed. We know what makes it work. So it really is a perfect gig. And anybody with ambition and entrepreneurial spirit and belief in themselves and people can make this work. So what do? We leverage with others, help others build their Nikken business to enjoy the products and get other distributors to help them spread the word. So the way we share active wellness and prosper ourselves as we join Nikken, we share and promote the amazing products, which we'll talk more about in a moment. We invite people to join us as consumers, customers, or consultants, distributors. And then Nikken does all the heavy stuff. We are just the marketing arm. We educate people, introduce people to Nikken, show them the products, and Nikken does everything else: the shipping, the inventory, the R&D, the warehousing, the operations, the accounting. And then they send the checks, delivered like clockwork, every Friday for your retail commissions and every 15th of the month for everything else. And they have incentives. It's a very, very generous plan. And the core of it is that certified Nikken wellness home, where Nikken reconnects you with nature every way that's known to humanity. It's truly a cash flow engine. So you get whatever you can be comfortable with initially when you're setting up your wellness home. We have consumables that supplement your diet and your skincare. And then you can upgrade when you fall in love with the products. You get the more durable products and create your wellness home. And then, of course, when you see what happens with these wonderful supports, you share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. And then if you want to build a business, you can. But Nikken is constantly introducing new products. And we'll mention one that just came out last week. So it's really a cash flow engine. And this is a diagram of our business model. You find 5 people or more who want to build wellness homes for the good of their family. And then look for 3 leaders, 3 people who want to be in the business and duplicate what you're doing, finding their 5 customers, building their wellness home, and finding their 3 collaborative leaders. So the way we do it is by ABCs. We share and invite our coach or mentor to help us present. So you start earning right away when you go to your contact list and invite them to take a look at Nikken. So you don't have to know everything or even be comfortable with sharing or presenting, because you always have a mentor or coach who's willing to get on the phone or on a Zoom or come meet you for coffee to help introduce Nikken to another person. And this is a diagram of how much support there is. We have different levels of value to the company as you introduce more and more people to the company. And this is where you really get the compounding effect of teaching 3 people to teach 3 people to teach 3 people. And it can go on forever to 24 levels or more. And that's where you have unlimited wealth potential. And that is represented by this little apple core. The one apple seed, if it's nurtured properly in a good environment, it can be responsible for millions and millions of other apples. And this is what I call the cone of possibility. It's a wonderful diagram of exactly how the money is generated for the consultant who decides to build this business. So at the top of the cone is you and your wellness home with your 5 wellness home builders and your 3 leaders. And on the left side, the 3 leaders each get 3, who get 3, who get 3. So you have 9 leaders, that makes 12 leaders. And then you get 27 and 81 and 243. And then in the middle section, each of those leaders has at least 5 wellness homes in the process of accumulating the Nikken products to get their family healthier. And so your 9 leaders have 45 customers, and the 27 leaders have 135. Now, of course, this is a possibility. This is not exactly, it's not going to develop perfectly like this, of course, because everybody's different. But on the basis of each of them just doing $100 worth of wholesale volume each month, that generates an income for you up in the top third, where you get to the silver once you have 3 people who've found 3 people. And that's you're getting $500 a month. And then as you get another level of people, you're getting up to 1,000 a month and so on. And we have people in Nikken who've earned more than 40,000 a month and 100,000 a month even. So that's pretty cool for working from home with fantastic products that change lives. And this is a quick scheme of all the different ways Nikken pays us. It's truly amazing. We can go into more detail when you get excited about building your business. So now we're going to talk about the products, and I'm going to go through this really quickly because I've already said the compounding effect is really important and the stress kills. I don't have to go into great detail. Everybody knows we have sleep deprivation countrywide and worldwide, and air and water pollution is everywhere. And I want to get on to the people. Of course, our children suffer the most. And when I was a kid, after school, I went out and played in the grass. I was with nature. Today, kids play on concrete play yards. They're using tablets all the time. They might not even go outside. And they're charging their tablets, they're charging their phones, and they are suffering severely. They don't have proper nutrition, they're not getting the right sleep, so they're not ready to do the proper exercise as they grow. And of course, their brains and bodies are growing the fastest, and they're most affected by the toxins in our environment and in our food, our air, our water, and lack of sleep. And the obesity epidemic is affecting them the most. 1/3 of kids are obese. So Nikken has the answer. It's about being healthy by choice, not by chance. And again, the 5 pillars of health, Nikken addresses them all, as I've tried to describe. So now we're going to look at the wellness home, and these are the products. There's 3 categories, actually more than that, but nutrition and skincare are consumables. They're unique and based on whole organic foods as much as possible. So I like to call them food supplements, not nutrition supplements. It's not just a list of ingredients. It's truly based on whole foods, organic foods. And we have unique products over there. And then the environment, our main entry is our water systems, and we'll talk some more about that. And then we have rest and relaxation. We have daytime products and we have nighttime products. So we have a water pack that you can get all the water technologies. We have an energy pack that you get all the daytime energy technologies. And then in the nighttime, we have a sleep pack that gives you all the proper things to give you the perfect environment to sleep. So I want to end our the PowerPoint right now and invite people to share their stories. I do want to just briefly say that when we had our home up in upstate New York, I did donated my legal time to help Indians and farmers fight the ultra-high voltage transmission lines the New York Power Company was putting across their land. And that's where I learned about the effects of all this electricity on our health. And because the testimonies from the lines that were already in Canada were showing there was an increase in cancer, there was infertility in the dairy cows, there were two-headed calves born, there were dandelions that were 14 inches across instead of the normal, 2 inches. So these electricity diminishes our health and changes our DNA even. And so when I discovered Nikken, I was like, this is so cool, because when we were up in the Adirondacks in the 70s, Mr. Masuda was over in Japan, the healthiest country in the world, figuring out how to prevent so much of the negative impact of these alien energies that we're surrounding ourselves with. So I want to invite people to unmute themselves and share their own stories. I'll say I didn't expect to notice anything. I just knew this was the right thing to do for my family. And yet my husband's lingering symptoms of asthma disappeared after he was on the sleep system for a month. He woke up for the first time in his life with his mouth closed, changed everything. And my kids weren't complaining about being tired anymore. They'd get up all bright and bushy-tailed. And I noticed that my balance improved when I was doing ballroom dancing, and I didn't get tired when I was running, jogging, or swimming. So it was truly amazing. And I thought, if this can make me even feel better when I thought I couldn't get any better, it could help anybody. So I love this business. It's a unique discovery, and we're happy you're here to discover it. So we have another 10 minutes or so to share stories. So would someone like to volunteer? Let's see, you've got Elaine and Dee and Hattie Jane and Nancy. Who would like to share their story briefly?
Hi, Randy.
Elaine?
It's Elaine. How are you?
Great, great. I'd love to share what Nikken's meant to you. Oh, there you are. We get to see you. Good.
Yeah. I had a job where I was in the traffic all the time as a toll collector, and the fumes were killing me, and I was having a real hard time breathing and had terrible headaches and sick in the stomach all the time and just not doing good. And found out about Nikken and got the products, and wow, in 3 months I was off 7 of my 8 medications and breathing so much better. I couldn't believe the difference in my lungs. I was so bad, the doctor wanted me to quit my job. The 2 doctors I had, one a specialist. And I got so much better, I stayed another 10 years on at the job until I could retire. So it made a really big difference for me with my health and my breathing, and my headaches went away too, by the way, which was awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
Love Nikken.
Yes, we've had so much fun together. That's one of the great things in Nikken. We're a team of positive people who want to change the world for the better, and your story is always so moving. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank
Nancy,
you.
did you want to share?
I wasn't going to because I have grandkids around, so excuse me if it gets too loud. But when I discovered Nikken, I was really looking for the business and didn't really think we needed anything. We weren't on any medication or anything like that. But my husband has been, now he's retired, but he had been a basketball coach and teacher for many years. And every basketball season, it looked to me, I've never told him this, but it looked like he aged 10, 15 years from lack of sleep, lack of just any rhythm, and the stress of it all. And so I found Nikken and jumped on board. I was so excited. And within a month, I discovered it. A friend showed it to me in, let's say, October. I joined like 2 weeks later, and that's in the middle of basketball season. And by the end of basketball season, which is usually February, March, people at church and at school saying, Dave, you don't look like you've just finished with basketball season. And he said, you know what? I don't feel like it. But the first thing we got were pillows. And that was amazing. It was those hard pillows. So it took us 2 weeks to get used to it. And then we couldn't live without them. But huge difference with just our sleep. And we thought we slept absolutely fine. But you really realize just what you're missing, the higher quality. And with each thing we added, it just got better and better and better. I just love Nikken and their products and the business.
Yeah, it's so extraordinary. Thank you so much, Nancy. That was our experience too. We never thought we had any sleep problems, but all of a sudden we woke up just so refreshed and not stiff, and didn't have to do all kinds of stuff to get moving again. It's truly amazing, and the technologies are unique to Nikken. They have the patented magnetic technologies. And now this new one, I'll just mention it quickly, is a grounding pad that connects us to the earth, which has a negative charge. So it tends to block out the electrical positive charge that almost all of our devices, everything that plugs in, creates this charge, and we become electrified unless we are literally grounded. And so this pad allows us to be grounded. And it's quite a buzzword out on the internet. How do you get grounded? Just walk out barefoot on the ground. But most of our time, 95% of our time, we spend in these houses surrounded by wires. And so the magnetics put us back in that natural magnetic field, so everything works better. Like, I like to think of it like this instead of like this. But this new technology uses the negative charge of the earth to protect us from the electrical charges in our environment. So Nikken is always looking at how do we reconnect with nature through our food, through our air, through our water, through our sleep, and through our daily energy, what we cover ourselves with. I think you're wearing one of our long johns, right? Yes, yes. And the earrings, right? You're on mute, but we can see. So thanks so much, and thank you, Elaine. We've run out of time, but Nancy, Elaine, I really appreciate you sharing. And let me just go back to a couple more quick slides to summarize. So let's begin your new success story. Get with the person who invited you to this program and experience the products. That's what it is. We share our stories and we share the products, and then it's up to you to decide what you want to do to, where's that not going? There we go. To get involved with Nikken, either as a customer, and you can start anywhere. We have amazing insoles that the company started with, the water system, the sleep system, the pillows, as Nancy mentioned. the nutritionals, and become a part-time entrepreneur. And that collaborative entrepreneurship, it's easy to get started, and a turnkey system, and you can generate a full-time income if you really share this with lots of people. So thank you so much for joining us, and please do go ahead and explore Nikken and see what it can do for you.